Private fusion companies have brought in a really interesting perspective because they're thinking about fusion not as a science project, but as a real commercial idea. So you have to make a product that somebody wants to buy. You can't just make something that works, whatever the cost. It's a different focus. It's not enough to just make something that works. Like, we've done fusion. People can make fusion, but you can't, or it's much harder to get more energy out than you put in, and it's much harder to engineer a power plant that will actually operate for decades and be able to make money. And so having the private sector involved really changes the focus, and that has really been a huge impetus for the fusion industry.
A key part of Tokamak Energy's strategy is that we think it'll take more than one company acting on its own to bring fusion to the world. We see the role of fast, agile private sector technology developers like us is to be working in partnership with government and with other industry stakeholders. So you've got industry, government and the private sector, private startups, specialists working together in consortium to deliver these pilot plants. I think that's the best of all of them, and we need to bring in finance, NGOs as well, and regulators into that mix as well.
You can work more on physics, validation and tech development in parallel, which really speeds up the process to a commercial fusion power plant. We also do really benefit from cooperations with industrial companies, with academia and with other public institutions.
Private has the advantage of money to spend, that they don't have to worry about public procurement rules, as the UK AEA are very thorough because it is our money they're spending. They've got to measure twice, cut once, whereas private fusion can afford to be a bit more risky, which is good. They can iterate quickly, they can develop, and it's only going to push the industry forward quicker.
Industry is acting as a conduit to move fusion developers from an R&D space into an engineering and delivery space, and we're at the precipice of where we now can hone in on capabilities from the developers, the fusion developers, as well as industry, to really realize commercialized fusion power and develop actual pilot plants that will generate net electricity output.